Once upon a time, many years ago, I could walk down a school hallway between classes and not get pushed, stepped on, or, in the worst case scenario, shoved against a wall. Instead of masses of people everywhere, I could actually see where I was going. Well, it helped that this was in elementary school, back when I used to be considered tall. Up until 5th grade, we were required to walk in lines whenever we changed classrooms. My teachers would get pretty mad if we weren't stick straight. And since that anger led to more homework, we tried our best to listen, as much as kids really can. This responsibility rested most firmly on the little shoulders of the line leader, a classroom job that was rotated weekly. Some kids would step up eagerly, walking so fast that the rest of us were practically running to keep up. Others, like me, were less enthusiastic. I never enjoyed my week as line leader. I hated the feeling of everybody's eyes pinned on my back, choosing to stuff my hands in my pockets and stare at the ground out of discomfort. And so I was actually somewhat relieved when I entered the chaos of middle school hallways, where you had to go with the crowd or get run over. I have never been a leader. I'm not very assertive or confident or even talkative, really. I've never been comfortable putting myself out there or making sure that my opinion is heard, much less trying to convince others that I'm right and that they should agree with me. I'm the quiet girl in the back of the classroom who does her best to talk loud enough just so that the teacher can hear her. But even so, usually ends up drowned out by the voices of all the other students. I basically fade into the background, like a boring blade of grass in a pretty field of flowers. And for these 15 years of my life, that's been working out for me. But now, it seems as if blending in is no longer an option. We are told that in order to be successful, you have to be heard. But not just heard, you have to take charge and be the one in control. By just going with the flow, you'll never stand out enough to get into a good college and make something big out of your life. When I came to Pingree, that was one of my parents' hopes for me, that I'd learn how to be a leader and take charge of my peers. In fact, it's that idea that I have to be a leader that led me to sign up for this and to make a speech at all, even though I'd be much more comfortable sitting out in the audience dressed down like everybody else. I don't deny that it's beneficial to take control when necessary. It's obvious that being docile and demure won't get you anywhere in our society. But you have to be at the top of the food chain in order to reap the great rewards of money and fame, which we have come to value so much. Survival of the fittest is in our nature. We fight to come out the victor. Especially here at Pingree, students are secretly locked in underground combat with each other. Having all applied and been chosen for our individual merits, we all want to strive to do our best. But sometimes, it seems like that means we have to be the best. After all, leaders are leaders because they know what to do better than everyone around them and aren't afraid to assert it. But if we have to keep being better than the person sitting next to us, where does it end? Perfection? No, of course not. That's stupid. Nobody's perfect. That's what we've been taught. Or is it? Now that being the leader of the class is no longer based on a rotation set up by the teacher, it feels like we're all pushing each other around in order to get to the front. And as warm as our community is out in the open, even the sun can't melt the frosty layer of competition that lurks below. We're all trying to achieve excellence and honor. After all, it's our school motto. But according to the Merriam-Webster thesaurus, a synonym for excellence is superiority. So, are we trying to achieve superiority amongst our peers? I know. Pingree values personal growth and excellence above all. But sometimes, the line gets blurry. We flicker between battling our own internal demons and obstacles and fighting to be the leader of the wolf pack around us. But in order to climb this ladder that we are all standing on, it doesn't matter how honorable you try to be. Along the way, you're going to end up stepping on somebody else. So maybe we all need to reconsider our motives before taking action. It's one thing for me to step out of my shell a little, forcing myself to hold my chin up and stand here talking to you, learning to hold my ground and be my own person. But I wonder, when does it go too far? In fact, is this competition even pushing at the limits of too far, when the words I'm saying right now are meant to be better than those of my classmates before me? But in spite of that, I'm still here. And we'll continue to fight each other because that's what we've been brought up to do, even though that's not what we should be doing. After all, if we're all being taught that we're supposed to be leaders, who will there be to lead? Thank you.